matters have gone to the court after implementation of the GST. Now, the billion-dollar question is that what happens as far as the constitutional validity of a lot of things are concerned. The first one to go to the court was on the services by the advocates per se. But I think the best part is that the government is looking very positively with respect to a lot of these writs which have been filed. So whether it was the matter argued by me for legal services where the notification has come, or whether it was in the famous case of Narendra Plastic where the issue was that the benefits which were promised to the exporters should they continue under the GST regime. And I think both the courts and the legislature, as far as the government is concerned, they've come out with very encouraging notifications to give a boost to the sector. So I think from that perspective, it's a very, very good news. But there are a lot of other matters which have again gone to the court, whether this is applicability of IGST when the services are rendered by the liaison office to the overseas or by the Indian branch of a foreign bank to its head office. These matters, or whether it is with respect to other matters like the credit restrictions in the transitional phase. The credit restriction could be of 12 months on the procurement side or for 6 months on the output side. So a lot of these matters have gone to the court. Only time will tell that how these are decided. Then there could be other matters like subsumation of entertainment tax which has happened, and the real benefit which was to go to the multiplex owners has not gone because entertainment tax has been subsumed. So I think the courts are looking these issues very pragmatically. I think before these issues are addressed by the court, the government is also coming up with some notification or the other so that these issues are addressed. The other issue which has gone to the court is with respect to the procurement from unregistered dealers. And when the writ was filed for Merit Publishers Association and another educational institute, people were not very sure what would happen. But I think the way after these writs have been argued by me, the government has come up with the notification to extend this benefit at least till 31st of March. So while the hearings will happen between now and 31st of March, there are a lot of issues with respect to the inverted duty structure refund for exempted supplies, with respect to the procurement of tax and the payment under reverse charge for a lot of these aspects where the procurement is from unregistered people. So I think these issues are very relevant, will come up. The issue which is again very relevant is with respect to the payment of IGST on the element of ocean freight. So when both the service provider and the service receiver and both the contracting parties are outside of India, is it correct to apply GST with respect to such transactions? So I think most of these matters which will go to the court will talk about arbitrariness, Article 14 of the Indian Constitution, extraterritorial jurisdiction, and whether the statute is going beyond the powers which have been given in the Constitution. So I'm sure it will be very interesting in the days to come, and everyone has a role to play here. Being both a chartered accountant and a lawyer myself, I know that both of these set of professionals have a very important role to play in the days to come. So when it comes to compliances and filing of these returns, I think the chartered accountants have a very important role to play. At the same time, the lawyers will have to litigate the matters once they reach to the court. So I think both set of these professionals will have to closely monitor what is happening, not only with respect to the amendments, but what matters are going to the court and how are these being addressed by the court. So I think whether it is compliance or whether it is advisory or whether it is litigating, I think these set of professionals will have to keep a close watch on what is happening around GST. And I think a lot of these decisions which are being argued now will become historic in the days to come. And there are a lot of learnings from these decisions, and a lot of learnings can be used while giving these advices.